No, but that's good. She forgot something because I forgot to do a lot of things.
Well, that's how it is indeed. I know, but that's part of your reflection.
Right.
If you will, write each other, I call them love notes, but right after somebody's done, write what you thought was like the strongest part of the lesson, what you enjoyed the most, or the strongest part of their teaching, and write them a little note, and you can just, rip this into a couple pieces. And that will help you with your reflection, because that will help you see what your students thought.
No, the table's just in the wrong place.
The table's just weird.
It is. We just had to make do.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Just about.
So should we do this first, or do you want to go ahead and teach?
Going.
Huh?
My camera's already going.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can see like the whole room. Alrighty, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Did you guys have a good night last night? Everyone woke up bright and early, ready to start class? Alrighty, I have a question to start off the day with. Has anyone ever heard of a place called England?
Yes.
They have a queen.
They do have
tea.
They have great tea. I'm not going to ask you to find it, don't worry, but it is right here in a place called Europe. Now, if you look closer on this globe, you can see, not exactly that well, but right there, that little red country. Everyone see it? It's really small. And does anyone know where we live? We live in a country called America. Look at how big America is when you compare it to England. They're really small. So now, in England, like when Lisa said, they have a very different form of government. They're ruled by a king and a queen. Does anyone know what we have here in America?
We have a president.
We do have a president. Now, in England, what they have is called a monarchy, and it's where they have one whole family that their children keep ruling the country. The female rulers are called queens, and the male rulers are called kings.
I want to be a queen.
You have to move to England and marry your prince.
Okay.
Alrighty. Now, does anyone know who Queen Elizabeth is?
The Queen of England?
She was the Queen in England. I have a book here that we're going to read today about that. But before then, we need to have some vocabulary words. There we go. Now, the first word that we have is a monarchy. I already told you guys about that. Can you say it with me? Monarchy. Monarchy. Who wants to tell me what that is? Remember, we have to raise our hands. No? Okay, I'll help you guys out. A monarchy is when their government is ruled by a king or a queen and stays in one family. Our next vocab word is England. England is a country that's across the Atlantic Ocean, far away from where we live in Florida. Our next vocab word is Parliament. This one is a big word. Parliament. Now, in a monarchy, when you have a king and a queen, they don't rule by themselves. They have something called a parliament. That's a group of men, usually, that help make laws. Yes.
Why is there no women?
There wasn't any women back when Queen Elizabeth was queen, but now there are women. Our next word is going to be Privy Council. These are a lot of weird words that we only see in England. Now, a Privy Council is a group of the king or queen's close friends that give them advice. We all have friends, right? And they give us advice, right? Is it always good advice? Not all the time, but sometimes it is. So we have to make decisions as a group. Now, the next one that we have is actually, there are two versions of it. There's Catholic, which is the individual, or, this is a big word, Catholicism. And that's a religion that was the main religion in England. That's what they believed there. And the last one is William Shakespeare. Who knows who he is?
He was a writer.
That's right. He was a really famous writer, and he was really good friends with Queen Elizabeth. They were best friends, actually. Alrighty, now that you have these words, does anyone have any questions about these words? I want to go over what they mean one more time.
Yeah.
Yes. Which one do you have a question about? Do you want to come up and point to it? Privy Council. A Privy Council is, does anyone else remember? A Privy Council is a group of friends to the King and Queen that give them advice.
Oh.
Alright, now if you look on your table, earlier I passed out a group of cards. And we're about to play an activity called Go Fish. Alright? It's not like the card game, but it has the same name. Here are a bunch of fish, and they have definitions inside of them. And you have to match them to the right bait, because they'll only eat the bait that they like. So here's a little fisherman, and this one is England. You're going to look through the fish as a group and try to find which one likes England as the word that they match. Alrighty? I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to work on this as a group. Alrighty? If you have any questions, let me know.
Right.
We have an extra one.
There's an extra one. Oh, I must have put it in the center one. That one is king. Okay. Alrighty, let's check our work. The name of a government that is ruled by one person is called a
Monarch.
That's right, come on, that's a group. A country in Europe that has a monarchy as their government.
England.
A group of men that make the laws.
Parliament.
Yeah. A body of advisors or friends that help the king or queen.
Privy Council.
Right. Now, they don't have that anymore in modern day England. They got rid of that a long time ago. An English poet, playwright, actor, and a friend to the queen.
William Shakespeare.
A religion that used to be the main religion of England.
Catholic.
The name of a female ruler of a country.
Queen.
And, as a bonus, the name of the male leader of a country.
King.
There we go. Alrighty, now if you look at your table, I passed out a worksheet. We're going to go over one more thing before we start reading the book. Does anyone know what cause and effect is? Alright, cause and effect is where something happens because of something that happened directly before it. So, who ate breakfast this morning? Alrighty, why'd you eat breakfast?
I was hungry.
Because you were hungry. So the cause of you eating breakfast was that you were hungry. The effect was that you ate. You see how they're directly linked together?
Mm-hmm.
So who woke up early this morning? Why'd you guys wake up early?
School.
Go to school. So what was the cause?
School.
What was the effect? Exactly, to learn. What was the effect? What'd you do because you had school? You got up early. Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to read as a group the intro to the book. And I want you guys to listen for cause and effect. If you see any, what we're going to do is I'm going to write them on the board. Now, I'm a very slow writer, so please be patient with me. And my handwriting's bad. Alrighty. Who was Queen Elizabeth? England, August 1588. A fleet of powerful Spanish warships is sailing toward England. The Spanish fleet, called the Armada, has 130 mighty ships. Each is heavily armed. Their goal is to invade the island nation. King Philip of Spain wants to be King of England as well. But England's ruler is brave and fearless. She is Queen Elizabeth. She does not intend to let the Spanish king take her throne. Her soldiers are waiting on the coast of England. They are ready to defend their country. Now stop there for a minute. Her soldiers were waiting on the coast of England. Why were they doing that? Because they were ready to defend their country. So what was the effect? If you guys want to write that down.
Defending the country.
Yep, that's what they did. Now, why did they do that? Oh, no. What did they do because of that? They wanted to defend England, so they were waiting on the coast. So now the effect, is usually an action word. They were waiting, and that's a verb. Verb is something that you do. So they wanted to defend England, something that they wanted to do, followed by a verb. They were waiting. Now, if you keep reading, the Queen's advisors do not want her anywhere near the battle. They worry about her safety. The Queen sets off on horseback from London, where the soldiers have set up camp. Elizabeth wants to be with her men. If there is a battle, words from the Queen herself will help lead the men into victory. And she is right. The English ships are smaller than the Spanish ships, but they set many Spanish ships on fire and break up the enemy fleet. And the English also get wet. There is very bad weather. The Spanish ships try to flee and instead crash against England's rocky shore. So here, what did they try to do? Oh, wait, no. We'll go to the next one, because you can only write T down in the first two boxes. They are destroyed. England is saved. People throughout the country rejoice. They call their brave Queen Elizabeth Good Queen Bess. So now, why did they call her Good Queen Bess? They called her that because the country was safe.
She saved the country.
She did. So now, called, they called her, that would be the verb. And then there's an event directly before, the country was saved. So this would be the cause, and this would be the effect. For the rest of her life, and long after her death, Elizabeth's faithful and loving people would rejoice that she was their queen. And that's the end of the introduction. Does anyone have any questions about how to find cause and effect? I know it's a really tricky subject to get down. So if you have any questions, I'll give you a couple minutes to write that down. everyone ready? Alrighty. Do you have any questions about cause and effect, how to find them, or what they are? No? Okay, we're going to do a group practice exercise. You guys have to find 3 cause and effects in chapter 1, okay? I'm going to put you in a group together, and you guys can follow along with the person that's reading, or you can read by yourself if you want. Here you go. Do you want to read first? Sorry, I just handed the book to you.
Chapter 1. Young Elizabeth. On September 7th, 1533, a baby girl was born in a palace in Greenwich, England. Her father was King Henry VIII, a handsome man who loved to hunt, to eat and drink, and to be in the company of beautiful women. Her mother, Queen Anne, was young and very beautiful indeed. The baby had her father's bright red hair and pale skin. When she was only 3 days old, the little princess was brought to church. She wore a long dress of silk and lace. Over it, a tiny robe trimmed with fur kept her warm. One of the king's officers announced her arrival, the high and mighty Prince Elizabeth. It was a very grand occasion. The truth, however, was that Elizabeth's father was not all happy over her birth. King Henry wanted a child of his to rule after him, but he did not want Elizabeth to be queen. Certainly, a woman could not rule a country all by herself. Besides, Henry already had one daughter from his first marriage. Princess Mary was now 17 years old.
All right, wait there for me. Now on the first page, can anyone point out anything that would be cause and effect? Just skim really quick, see if you can find anything. Look for verbs and action words.
On this page,
On either or. The first 2 pages. Alrighty, if you need help, Mary C. Let's go over. When she was only 3 days old, the little princess was brought to church. She wore a long dress of silk and lace. Could anything there be cause and effect?
She was brought to church, so she wore a dress.
Exactly. So if you want to write that down, the cause was she went to church, and the effect was she wore a dress. All right, who wants to read the next page? Want to go in a circle? Okay.
Right here,
Yes, ma'am.
Queen Anne had promised Henry a boy. That's what Henry wanted. And Henry was a man who expected to get what he wanted. If he didn't, there could be big trouble. And soon there was. After the little princess was born, Henry was convinced that Queen Anne would never bear a son. So he accused her of a crime she did not commit. Anne was put on trial and sentenced to death. Elizabeth was not even 3 years old when her mother was beheaded. Now King Henry was free to marry again. And within 2 weeks of Anne's death, he did. Luckily for the new queen, she gave birth to a baby boy. His name was Edward. What did this mean for little Elizabeth? It meant she was no longer important in her father's eyes. She was no longer even a princess. She was sent away to a palace far from London. She hardly ever saw her father. Fortunately, Elizabeth had many other people to look after her. There was her governess, Catherine, called Cat. Elizabeth and Cat stayed friends long after Elizabeth grew up. Cat made sure that Elizabeth was happy and healthy. She also made sure that the king spent enough money for Elizabeth's needs, food and clothes and books. And another important person in Elizabeth's life was Roger. What's this word?
Ascham. That's the
Ascham.
last name.
Oh, he was Elizabeth's private teacher. Although most girls in the 1500s had no school, Elizabeth was the daughter of a king.
Alrighty, can anyone find any cause and effects on that page? On those pages?
Because the queen gave birth to a little girl, she died. They cut her head off.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Because back then it was really important to have boys because the main ruler would be a king. To be a king, you had to be a boy. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I hope I bear sons.
I don't want somebody to chop my head off
She
because I
left.
had a little girl.
Alrighty.
So, Queen Elizabeth, so the cause was she had no sons. That's
Queen
Or
Anne.
was it Queen Elizabeth? There you go. Queen Anne didn't have sons. Remember, red is a teacher color, so we don't use red pens. Alrighty, there you go. And now Lisa, would you be so kind as to read the next few pages?
Two.
Mm-hmm.
Young Elizabeth was a quick learner. What is this word?
That's Asham. That's her teacher's last name, like my last name is Barnes.
Ashton called her the brightest star of all the girls he taught. Elizabeth studied math, history, literature. What is this word?
Astronomy.
What
Who
is
knows what astronomy is?
stars.
That's right. Astronomy is when you have a big telescope and you look at the stars and you draw them and you map where they are because the stars change.
Map like a map on the board?
Kind of, except instead of a map of the land, you point basically a telescope up and you make a map of the stars. So instead of water and earth, you would see the night sky and dots for stars in different colors depending on what they were. And you would see asteroid belts, and we'll go over that in a different lesson. Yeah, the moon too.
Astronomy and geography. She especially loved to read and would spend hours with books in Greek and Latin. What is Greek and Latin?
Greek and Latin are old languages that we don't use anymore. But who's heard of Greece? Way over in Europe, it's by England. Hope I took the knife down. And Latin was used in Rome. We don't have Rome anymore. It's an old country.
By the time she was a teenager, Elizabeth knew 5 languages besides English: French, Italian, Spanish, Greek, and Latin.
Yeah.
Sometimes she had
Asham.
Sometimes she and Asham would speak to each other in Greek or Latin. Elizabeth learned to play an instrument called the
Virginal.
what is that?
Virginal.
I think if you keep reading, it'll tell you. But if it doesn't,
Okay.
I'll tell you.
An instrument called the virginal. It was like a piano.
Oh.
She started sewing when she was 6 and became very good at needlework. Other tutors instructed Elizabeth in horseback riding and dancing. There wasn't much time for play, and like all children of that time, Elizabeth was expected to act like a tiny adult. Every once in a while, young Elizabeth would hear gossip. Henry's 3rd wife had died. Did they chop her head off too?
I don't know. If you keep reading, it'll tell you.
Then he divorced his next wife and beheaded the one after that. Nice guy.
He was so mean.
He was very mean.
Hope I never marry him.
Right. It was very risky for a woman to be married to King Henry.
Yes, it was. Yes, Lena?
How was he allowed to get away with killing?
Because since he was the king, like we said, he was the ruler of the country. So there was no one else besides him that could punish him for it.
But does that mean the ruler of our country? Our president? Can kill people?
No, it doesn't mean that because we have a president. Presidents, they have 2 different bodies that help them rule. Both of them have to make a decision, and they can both punish the president if he is bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
But if you live in England and the king doesn't like you, he can kill you.
Not anymore. He
Oh,
used to be able to,
Okay.
but he can't anymore.
Okay.
I'm glad he came.
Right, because I don't
Me
want to go to
too.
England if they can kill you because they don't like you.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that the king doesn't see you if you go to England.
I'm not going to England.
Can you find any cause
Ireland
and
is nice.
effect? I hear Ireland's beautiful. In these few pages, anything that's cause and effect?
She learned.
She learned lots of language by her teacher.
Five.
Mm-hmm.
So the cause would be she was taught.
Yep, and the effect was? There you go. That's the last one. Alrighty, good job, everyone. Does anyone have any more questions about how to find cause and effect? No?
It's easy.
Easy once you learn it, yeah? Alrighty, so now I have a copy of this book for each of you. Ooh. I want you guys to take it home and read chapter 2 for me. Okay, do you see at the bottom of your worksheet, chapter 2? Alrighty, I want you to find 3 more cause and effects and bring it in tomorrow for homework. Okay? Now you guys did such a good job reading. You guys did fantastic. Do you guys want to give yourself a celebration?
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do? Who can remember one?
Round of applause.
Yeah, do you guys want to do a round of applause? Good job. And I think you guys have earned to go up to recess early today.
Yay! Recess.
Excuse me. It is.